Hello, welcome to Quackalope. Thank you for being here. Today, we are unboxing Valor and Villainy, which would be helpful if I held it up the right way and not hit myself. Thank you, Andy, for clarifying that I did, in fact, smack myself in the face with a box. Today, I'm joined with someone who you've never seen before. He's never been on camera before, which isn't a problem because neither have I. And half the game is actually slicing the box instead of the knife. All right, go ahead and start pulling that out. Valor and Villainy is one of the very first games, and actually the very first Kickstarter game that we covered here on Quackalope back in the day. So in a lot of ways, this is one of the games that sort of started everything. The very first prototype I ever received, the very first Kickstarter review or preview that I ever did was this game right here. And what this is a one versus many dice and resource sort of chucking and manipulation game where you're going to be moving around these modular tracks, these locations, fighting to the last breath against a multitude of villains, but primarily Mordak, who's that shiny green figure up top there. Now, we always read all the flavor text, so if you could give me a swing. Oh, you've watched enough of the videos to know how this works.
All right. King Shapiro has perished in a freak catapult accident.
It's a thing that happens.
Yep. His sleazy advisor, the evil Wizard Mordak, menaces the population before vanishing into smoke.
Now, if you notice, the font changes on this next line, which means the voice also has to adapt appropriately.
Yeah, of course it does. Foolish mortals, your beloved king's been captured. Now enjoy my 6-day procession of horrors before I return with unfathomable powers to claim my rightful seat.
Well, there's probably like a solid
Probably.
after that, right? Isn't that normally how that works?
Yeah.
All right, we're gonna open this.
Let's do it.
So cut a seam. We're gonna be respectfully quiet. Go ahead and start pulling things open.
Let's see what we got.
I'm glad you struggle with saran wrap about as much as I do. You know, it wasn't as bad. So this is going to be the deluxe edition. I did get this in the mail probably about a month or so ago before we moved. It's been a chaotic month getting up here to Maryland, so I am just now getting the opportunity to open up this copy and show it off. This is one that I specifically saved to show off on camera, because it's just super pretty. So we have a manual here. If you want to start pulling stuff out and oohing and on and explaining to everyone what everything is you're pulling out, I'll look for more flavor text.
All right. Got a bunch of cardboard cutouts. Looks like some terrain.
Yeah, so those are all going to be the location tiles that we're going to be moving to. So you can also set them here because we've got that top shot there. Right. This is going to be all of these different regions that you can go to. Some of them have different conditions equipped to them. Some of them have different titles, meaning that their locations or their ruins of locations, and then some of them will have various different effects depending on what character is utilizing what power there.
All right, looks like we got a lot of them too.
There's a lot, yeah. That's one of the nice things about this game is once you start, you don't quite know where or what everything is until you start unveiling and flipping tiles. There's a little bit of a map building at the very start of it. King Shapiro's death letter dispatched his final wishes to the Order Without Borders. His top squad of do-good heroes, generally helpful folk, entrusting them to look after the kingdom until a successor to the throne can be determined. And the naive king pleaded, "Please look after my dear advisor, Mordak. He can be a little off, but he means well." It would appear the king was wrong, as Mordak most definitely does not mean well. So this is going to be different artwork. We have sheep, which can spawn and spread throughout the landscape. You can also, I believe, be turned into a sheep, depending on Mordak's wishes. We have our little progression track here, which is going to track Mordak as he escalates. And we have the little standees for all of our characters. Now, here's the reason why I thought you might enjoy unboxing this one. So that's going to be a game tray insert. And we're going to have a pile of miniatures and a little bit of another level. What do we have? Tell the people what you see.
Well, I don't really know what that is, but...
That looks like it is a goblin bard.
Nice.
That'd be my assumption.
A little orc or goblin.
He looks like a
Troll,
looks like a
maybe.
brawling troll. We have a very handsome horse.
Oh, this is nice. It's like a wizard.
Maybe, could be. It looks like a Solomon Kane type explorer. We have a dwarf here with a massive hammer.
Nice.
Minis are nice. I approve. I do wish there was a pile of sheep minis though.
Sheep minis.
No sheep minis. No sheep minis. So this is also very nice. So these are going to be all the different characters that you're currently opening up and unboxing, and the dual layer here. And grab one of these. So you're going to be adding dice to these different locations, tracking and powering up your different abilities. So you're adding little cubes, and that'll determine what type and how many dice you're rolling when you do a special action or an attack. So these are all the different characters that we have. There's your
There he is.
Wugner, the Bard. Okay. We have a pile of dice. You want to do a dice check?
Yes.
What do you think? You approve? Good dice?
I like them. There's a lot of them.
Yeah? Give them a roll. See if they work. They do work. In fact, you rolled a lot of ones.
I did roll out. I usually do.
We also have another game trays organizer. Insert in here a pile of different resource and item cards. If you want to take a look at those, you're welcome to. And instead of that, so this, here, catch it. Give it a.
That's nice.
That's a hefty coin. That is a hefty coin. So basically the conceit of this game, or the main conceit of this game from what I remember when I did the playtest stuff, it was that open map, that open field that you have spread out in front of you. You're going to be diving forth with a bunch of different heroes, utilizing abilities, rolling dice, and doing your very best to take down the evil villain Mordak. Every character is going to have their own special abilities, from range to weapons to magic, and you'll be able to equip gear and add cards and stuff to your display as you're playing through. So a lot of those are going to be various different item cards. We have grenades, we have a transmutate, vile concoction, tainted mixture, and different spells and things that you can cast. So all these purple cards are going to be spells, special abilities, and depending on your magic strength or how equipped you are to utilize magic, you'll be able to take advantage of those cards. And I assume this is going to have a pile of various different weapons and other items that you can utilize as well. A luck tonic, blood oath, the ultimate price. Here's some armor. We have a lightning rod helm of apologies, and then we have various different items and resources like a spell book, a divine sensor. Anytime you cast a gold divine spell, you may heal yourself for a certain amount, right? So each of these are just going to add variability in different types of attacks, weapons, buff, and dice mitigation to what you're doing.
Nice.
Make sense?
Yeah.
And then finally, if you want to open up one of these packs of cards,
All right.
we will take a look at them, and then I think that's an unboxing.
So. Different characters.
Yeah, show them off to the camera a little bit. Read the
got
names aloud. Tell them what you're seeing.
Elf Outrider, a Glade Stalker, a Goblin Spear Slinger.
So these are going to be different minions and things that can pop up throughout the course of the game.
Bone Town Lowlife.
Nice.
I like that one. Repo Man.
Yep.
Bone Town Wolfman.
And then here, I believe we have some even more devious or villainous creatures that will be threatening the fine people of the kingdom. And so you're going to be also not only warring against Mordak, but also balancing and warring against the different characters and villains that pop out onto the board here.
Sounds fun.
It is fun. It is a dice-chucking good time. The only question is, do we have any more? We have to read all flavor text. So like we even have flavor text on the elves, the goblins. What are you interested in? What do you think? So we've got the dwarves, the goblins, the elves, or the bone men. Bone men?
I get to
do
it.
Of course you get to do it.
Yeah, thanks.
I gotta get you comfortable on camera because I gotta utilize your handsomeness as much as possible. Listen,
I'm going to
Listen,
go with the flavor text.
I
Dear
desperately...
citizens of Hockamore.
There you are. I'll talk till you interrupt
Yeah,
me. That's how that works.
We, the skeleton people of the Confederacy of Bones, believe that the right to private property is sacred. All policy is monetary policy, and all monetary policy is good policy.
Okay.
You may think it absurd that we base our currency, housing, and entire economy on the very bones we are composed of.
You say.
But is it any less absurd than exchanging bits of paper for a ticket to the theater?
Reasonable question.
Mm-hmm. The bone standard allows all responsible skeletons an unparalleled standard of unliving. These layabouts who find themselves boneless and living on the illegal charity of society will have their ass and assets frozen by the gigantic and literal rotting hand of the free market. May his choices always remain rational. May his ensconcement upon the bone throne be everlasting. To those among the living who would regulate us, we know not how the massive hand was charmed by your bullish and mighty king. We only know that he has been tragically catapulted, his holdings scattered to the wind, and now the free hand's fickle fingers turn to Hockamore, an emerging market ripe for foreign investment. The untapped capital inside all living beings must be tapped. The hostile takeover has begun.
I like it. I mean,
The great rotting hand.
you know, it's a little libertarian. It's a little, you know, but except for the fact where they literally, if they're going to steal from you, they'll probably murder you and take your bones. Yeah. So like on the edge of, reasonable stance, and then they take it a little bit too far. A little bit too far. I would like to find out a little bit more about the goblins. So I assume these are the letters they're sending into the capital. These are like what they're writing, demanding their rights. Dear citizens of Hawkmoor, we goblins craft our poems in song in the shadow of our peaceful corner of Hawkmoor, much to the scorn of the less talented tribes. Reasonably. Booed and chased out of towns across the land, we've had just about enough of the other races and their resistance-era baloney art. Those hockey pucks wouldn't know art if it kicked in their door with a fistful of knives. Only the beloved King Shapiro truly appreciated our craft. Now that he has been cruelly catapulted, we will not rest until the goblin flag of abstract art flies over the castle of Hawkmoor and a proper rhyme magister general sits upon the gaunch and tacky throne. Interesting. Interesting. So the goblins are artists who also believe in a military takeover. Reasonable.
Yeah.
I gotta say, two reasonable factions. Who knew? Who knew I would have agreed so much with fiendish goblins who like to write poems and songs, and bone-inspired people that just would be left alone. Or take your bones, personally. Yeah. Either way, thank you for watching. Hopefully you've enjoyed this. I should be having some more content of Valor and Villainy coming out sooner or later if we can find all the dice that are now scattered across the ground. Whatever the case, whatever you do, remember to do the important thing. Get out and play some games. I'll see you next time. You gonna check the mouthfeel on this?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Yeah. I'm vaccinated. So
okay, great.